Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over all the things that I like and the things that I don't exactly like on the 2021 Kia K5 GT line, and then also we're going to give kind of my final thoughts on the car. With all that being said, let's get into the video. Let's start things off with the styling of the K5, which is a huge positive. This car actually gets quite a bit of attention because people just love how this thing looks, and I think that Kia just absolutely knocked it out of the park. And part of the styling is actually the LED accent lights, which we gotta pop on. So what I'll do is we'll just throw the lights on, and you guys can see we've got these orange LED accent lights, and with the Wolfheart gray that this car is finished in, it looks just fantastic. I love the overall aesthetic. And then on top of that, this paint color in this particular car, you guys can see, looks amazing in the sunlight. But yeah, just everything stylistically is great. I love how they've integrated the sensor here into the bottom so it doesn't really get in the way of the design of the car. And just everything on this design-wise looks really sharp. This looks like a really sporty, aggressive car from an aesthetic perspective. And then coming here to the side, again, with the wheels, I love the design on them. They kind of look like fangs here on the outside, which is just really cool from an aesthetic perspective. And then something else that I like is how they have a lot of contrast with this car. So we have the darker elements with the grille, the wheels, the mirrors, and then also with the roof as well. So then that all contrasts all of the gray on this particular car. And so, yeah, I think that just, they've nailed it from a design perspective. And well, actually, we're going to keep the, I was going to turn off the lights, but now we're going to keep them on because I have to go over something I don't exactly like design-wise, and that is the taillights. So, I love the light bar idea, and I think it looks good aesthetically with the car. I just wish they used crisp, sharp LEDs like they have with the front accent lights because, well, I think that would look a little bit better with this car. I think that just kind of makes sense, so I guess that's kind of a little bit of a gripe. And now we'll turn off the lights so that we don't kill the battery, obviously. And that'll bring me to the next thing, which is a positive in my mind, and I think it's down. Oh, I forgot the button's right there. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, guys. Trunk's super easy to open. Storage space is actually really good back here. I mean, this is not a very large car, and they managed to give us quite a bit of trunk space, which I think that's another huge positive. And then we'll kind of close that. Something that's a slight negative, this looks cool design-wise with the coverings here, but there's no exhausts. Like, that is completely fake. That is as fake as it gets. So I'm going to put that as a slight negative, that they're using like poser exhaust tip coverings, because the exhaust tip is down there under the car. So, I mean, it is what it is. And then, yes, I'm okay with the fake venting because I think it looks good. Now, huge plus, the interior. So again, you guys gotta remember, this car is only $31,000. We have this really nice red leather, which contrasts perfectly to the Wolfheart gray here with the K5. And yeah, it just looks fantastic. And also, on top of having a pretty big trunk, it's got decent room back here. Like, I mean, my head's almost touching the top, but I mean, I fit back here pretty comfortably. And then also you get like the seat storage and some USBs and all that kind of stuff. But the big positive here is the space in the back. I guess the slight negative is there's no vents or anything back here, so you're kind of at the mercy of how they have the vents there in the front. But anyways, pop into the front, and you can see just as beautiful with the seats and everything. Again, huge positive. The interior, like, this just looks really nice and upscale. And we will pop this bad boy on. Ooh, it looks like we've got the Sounds of Nature on, which we're gonna have to turn that off. And also with the climate controls so that we don't have that blaring out to us. But speaking of the sound system is amazing in this. And actually, we should turn back on the Sounds of Nature so you guys can hear. Now, obviously, that's probably not your favorite tune, but still, they did a really good job with the sound system. And also with the design here, look how this strip continues. They did a really good job from a design perspective, and also here with the whole gauge cluster. So the gauge cluster looks great, okay? But I like how you have got this box, and the box continues and contains the infotainment system, so it all looks like it fits together. It doesn't look like it was plopped on. Like, a lot of infotainment systems nowadays just look like tablets plopped on. This actually fits with the car, and you even have nice stitching here at the top of the dash, so I think that's huge positive. It's got dual zone climate, which is, again, another huge positive. And then this 8-speed automatic transmission is amazing. Super quick to shift. If you haven't seen my review, go watch my review so you can see how quick this transmission is. Really solid with that. You've got heated seats. I wish it had air conditioned seats. That's, I guess, a little bit of a gripe. And then with the drive modes, it's cool that it has a bunch of different drive modes. I've mostly been driving it in the normal mode, but at least they give you the selection of several different drive modes. I love the wireless phone charger. So I'll actually pop my phone out so you guys can kind of see. Just popping that in works great for the storage space and all that, and you can see instantly charge it. And yes, I still have my Supra as the screensaver, even though I sold that car months ago. And then also the fact that this came with a receipt from I think McDonald's. Yes, hot and spicy McChicken. That's a huge plus. Okay, I have to make jokes about the receipt because someone left a receipt in the car. You know what, guys? I am what I am. But anyways, also I like the accent here on the steering wheel. The overall steering wheel feel is great. I wish they had paddle shifters, right? This is supposed to be a sporty car, but it doesn't have paddle shifters. Yeah, you can manually shift with the shifter down here, but I think it needs paddles. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is with the safety tech. So if you guys haven't watched my review, again, go watch it because I show you guys the cruise control with the lane keep assist and the steering assistance, and the car basically drives itself. And again, it's $31,000 and it drives itself. It's pretty crazy. And then it does have the blind spot monitoring, which also works great. And just overall, I feel like you just get so much value for the money. And I mean, we'll pull up the window sticker so you guys can see that. Again, total price $31,300, and just look at all of the equipment that this comes with, and most of it's actually standard, as you can see. And then also the warranty, I guess that's another huge positive that I need to mention. You get a 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and then a 5-year 60,000-mile on the basic, and then the roadside assistance. And you can see there's a couple different options added, but you can see the pricing doesn't change all that much. Base price $29,000, total price $31,000, and again, there's a couple of things that are added. But notice that the options are pretty reasonable in terms of the pricing. So like this one's an all-wheel drive special edition, $800 to get that, right? And the interior package, right, it's included as part of that, but then the paint color $445. It is what it is. So yeah, overall the options are cheap. Pricing is really reasonable for all of the options that you get with this car, and I just feel like overall the K5 is such a good value with everything you're getting. Again, you're getting a turbocharged engine, all-wheel drive, in a pretty large sized sedan in terms of the interior space. And I mean, especially here in the front seat, like if I sit how I normally sit, I'm almost touching the top, but I mean, you could be 6'2", 6'3", and then maybe you're gonna be like fully hitting the top. But if you're my height or shorter, then you'll be completely fine. You'll fit in here, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, I just need to emphasize the value that comes with this car is crazy. Now let's get into my final conclusion here with the K5. And what I'd have to say is, in this particular segment right now, I don't think there's anything else that really competes against it in my mind. It looks way better than most of the other cars in this segment. And then on top of that, right, the all-wheel drive definitely adds a ton of value. The turbocharged engine, really responsive, and it's decent from an acceleration standpoint. Plus, if you want even more power, you can get the GT. The only downside about the GT is it's just that it's front-wheel drive instead of all-wheel drive. So I guess that, I mean, that's a little of a negative, but that's a completely different car. Anyways, interior is fantastic, safety tech is fantastic, and there's really not a whole lot of negatives with the K5. Overall, it's just a really great package. And so if you're looking for a car around $30,000, there's really nothing else that competes against it. It has everything, and the fact that it pretty much drives itself at that price point, I mean, come on. Tesla said they do that for us. They obviously haven't. Kia came in clutch and they did it for us. That's gonna sum things up with the things that I like and the things I don't like about the K5, and then my final thoughts. As always, if you're stopping for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. I'll see all of you in the next video.